What is the biggest lie in the weight loss industry at the moment?
The biggest lie in the weight loss industry is if you don't care about your nutrition, if you don't bother about it and just go to the gym to lose weight, it is going to happen. If you walk 10,000 steps a day, your weight loss is going to happen. It is not how that works.
How big of a role does metabolism and genetics play when it comes to weight loss?
It plays quite a big role in determining how much weight you lose.
There are a lot of people gym bhi ja rahe hain, they're also taking the diet, but still they're not losing weight. And this is a problem with many. What do you think is the reason why that's happening and what is the solution to it?
There's a concept I would like to introduce here. It is called the CICO concept. That is calories in, calories out.
Today's podcast, we'll be discussing a very critical part of any weight loss journey, that is diet, that is based on what you eat, especially when you're on a GLP-1 journey. And today we have not just one, but two dietitians with us who will be talking about the GLP-1 related problems and how do you ensure that diet essentially mitigate it, and some of the questions which are not much talked of. And today we'll be discussing that in greater detail. I am hopeful that by the end of this video, you will get possibly every single question that might have come in your head. So let us start by introducing both of our dietitians. One is Simar Chopra and we have Muskan Nagar with us. So welcome both of you to this podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Abhinav.
So let us begin with discussing about GLP-1, and we'll not get inside the basics of GLP-1 because we know Ozempic, Mounjaro and all these medications have come into the market. They have made a big dent in the weight loss industries, and I mean more so the kind of solutions that were being offered by these wellness centers, by these meal replacement powders is now shrinking by a big number. So, but we see that a lot of people are having complaints around GLP-1, especially around the side effects part. So I want you guys to shed a light around how GLP-1 medications affect your gut and how does diet ensure that the side effects are mitigated to its fullest.
So starting with what GLP-1 is. So for a broader understanding, GLP-1 essentially known as glucagon-like peptide. So peptides are small forms of proteins and all of our bodies are producing proteins thoroughly throughout the day, throughout our lifetime. So this hormone is produced by our interstitial cells, the cells present in our intestines. And the major role of this hormone is to provide the brain a signal as to when do you have to eat, when do you have to stop eating. But as we see with the onset of obesity or other metabolic conditions like insulin resistance, this functioning, this signaling is either stopped or it happens for a very small period of time. So it is not that effective. So when we're injecting this hormone from the outside to the body, it is not taking away taking over any mechanical or any process of the body. What it is only doing is giving a head start to the already being produced hormone in the body. So it is nothing wrong to take. If you require special assistance with anything, it is completely fine. It is completely natural to take it. What happens furthermore is that two other hormones come into play, that is leptin and ghrelin. So ghrelin is the hunger hormone and leptin is the satiety hormone. So the GLP-1 also works with both these hormones to provide the brain a signal ki yes, abhi ghrelin hormone. So again, diving deep into the part is when we gain weight, when we acquire weight, deposit fat in the body, what is happening is adipose tissue is getting accumulated. And the more the number of cells, the more the signal will be released, the more of the hormone will be released. तो अगर आपकी body all the time brain को यही signal दे रही है कि भूख लग रही है, तो you're bound to eat more and you're bound to consume more calories. So again, what this hormone is doing is reducing your appetite, reducing the functioning of ghrelin, When appetite is reduced, of course, you will eat less. When you'll eat less, you will consume less calories, which will eventually lead to weight loss. So this is all in all the functioning of the hormone. If Muskan would like to.
So, as Simar said, that your appetite gets suppressed. This could also lead to nutrition deficiency. And people who are already eating calorie dense and nutritionally deficient food would go into a more negative effect from the medicine. In addition to the side effects people face, like diarrhea and constipation, diet has to play an extra role there as well. Also, the GLP-1 affects the muscle mass of the body. So, taking adequate protein in an environment where the diet is already suppressed is also a critical section.
No, I think both of you answered the question. I mean, in a very thorough manner. जितना पूछा था उससे ज़्यादा ही बता दिया है. I wanted to keep it so non-technical, but I think कुछ है आप लोगों के अंदर की वो technicalities आ ही जाती हैं. So now let us discuss again. I mean, let's say if you were to consider me as somebody who is obese and now wanting to lose weight, I would ask, first question is, मेरा कितना वजन कम हो जाएगा?
Right.
This is a common question that you get. 1 month में how much can I expect? 3 months में how much can I expect? 6 months में क्या मैं पतली दिखूंगी या दिखूंगा? How do you deal with such situation? And is there an answer to it? Let's say when you take GLP-1 and then you continue with your journey. And I know this is a slightly, a very different question to answer, but it's a common problem and a common take. So maybe Muskan, if you want to add to it.
I have got clients that straight away ask me like, मैम कितने में हो जाएगा, कितना टाइम लगेगा, एक महीने बाद मुझे वेकेशन पे जाना है, मेरा 6 किलो कम हो जाएगा, नहीं हो जाएगा. So it totally depends upon your metabolism first of all, and in addition to your metabolism, how much exercise you are doing. That's the main criteria. And if you see that natural weight loss when people do, that is also never has a exact timeline. A person can lose 6 kgs in a month naturally. Some may take it up to 6 months as well. Same case lies with GLP-1 as well.
It's I mean, again, the answer is also subjective to the patient. So it means what I could get is कोई hard and fast rule नहीं है. Your result will be very subjective, and there cannot be one answer that. But as a company, I must say that we have put up a 10% of the weight loss guarantee mark there. So that is something we anyways have to follow, regardless of the patient's expectations or maybe their metabolism or other factors. Now I would like to steer the conversation towards same point, metabolism, as dietitian Muskan said. And I'll ask this question to Simar, who has a good background in the genomics, who did her master's in genetics, so nutrigenomics. And now I want to ask you a question on behalf of a lot of people. How big of a role does metabolism and genetics play when it comes to weight loss?
That is a very intriguing question that you've asked, and not many people tap on that part of weight loss. So one thing that people really need to understand is, if we all don't look alike, how is our weight loss journey, or how is any other thing in our life going to be alike? So they always compare themselves with their peers, their friends, or some celebrities, or the people they look up to, कि हाँ इसका हुआ था मेरा भी हो सकता है. But what they ignore is how they are made, what lifestyle they follow. The celebrities, all their functioning, all their daily life revolves around aesthetics. Their daily life revolves around promoting themselves, their body, which is not the case with common man. So coming back to the fact how much role does genetics play, it plays quite a big role in determining how much weight you lose. Now, if I were to take this to an Indian context, we generally come across relatives who say कि इसको तो पानी भी लगता है, या ये तो बहुत खाती है फिर भी weight gain नहीं होता है. Again, why is that happening? It has something to do at the molecular level, at your cellular level. And until and unless we don't determine what is making you gain weight, we cannot determine what is going to make you lose it. So genetics does play a role, and how your nutrients are interacting with your genes is also something that people should be quite aware about.
That's a very insightful answer, I may say. And that also speaks with the answer, also tells a lot around the science and how the bodies are so subjective, and there is no one framework that might work. So, even while building the protocol, I think this has become a very important factor, that there is no one solution that we provide. Unlike a lot of hospitals or dietitians or a few platforms who I don't want to name provide a generic diet chart, which is a very wrong approach for some people. I mean, it might work with majority, but it doesn't with a lot.
I mean, with those diet charts, the thing is same. They're putting you on a calorie deficit. But again, they're not catering to what your body primarily requires. There are some nutrients that you might be deficient in, but might be available in the other person who is following the same diet. So their body will react to it optimally, but yours would not, because the energy cycles going inside the body are supported by the minerals and vitamins that we are taking. So you cannot compare your weight and your weight loss journey with anyone else.
If I were to extend the answer given by Simar, which is very insightful, see, a lot of people follow the diet, follow the program very diligently, but they have one question: प्रोग्राम के बाद क्या? जब वो ख़त्म हो जाएगा, क्या मैं वेट गेन फिर करूँगी या करूँगा? हाउ वुड यू एड्रेस सच सिचुएशन? बिकॉज आई फील वो तो है ही नेचुरल कि इफ़ यू एंड अप विद अ प्रोग्राम, अ लॉट ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी ऑल्सो गेट वाइंडेड अप, ऑल्सो गेट्स ऑफ. सो what is the kind of maintenance, or what is the kind of last phase that these people go through in lean protocol that make sure that these people doesn't get a rebound?
Okay, so I have a good example for that. I have met people who start going to gym, and they build a discipline that they say that I don't want to get back to the person who I was. The discipline that one goes through their weight loss journey is something so significant that they fear coming back to the person that they were. If they start regaining as well, they would see, first of all, they would not let their body regain the weight that they were on. But the discipline can sustain with that as well. In our journey, if we take our clients, we nudge our clients constantly, we motivate them, and help them create a discipline that would not just last about 6 months, but could actually be fitted into their lifestyles as well.
That's a good answer, by the way. And that's the kind of protocol that even we are trying to set and put forth and try to work on actively to make it better and hone it better. Thank you so much. The the next question is actually for both of you. I want to know, because there are a lot of trends that comes up. Dietary trends, this trend, that trend. Can you tell me the most dangerous trend that you think that you have seen, which is essentially something that you would never recommend?
You're essentially asking us about the fad diets that are in the market. People follow them for a short while, then they see no results, or maybe even if they do, it is not something they can, continue with throughout their lives. So yes, thinking about the most dangerous one, I cannot as per say, because something works for someone and something doesn't. But if I have to talk about one diet, I would like to bring up keto diet.
Exactly.
So keto diet puts you essentially on fats, healthy fats if you may rename it. So keto diet is putting you on fats and essentially taking a majority of your carbohydrate intake from your diet. Because our brain is majorly formed of fats. The composition of our brain is fats only. So if we provide that fuel to the brain, it remains in the functioning mode. If we're providing the brain with calories, it becomes hyperactive, because carbohydrates are the smallest form of energy, which gets converted into energy very easily as compared to fats and proteins. So if we're providing that to the brain, it becomes hyperactive, and then these people experience fits again and again. So essentially those are the people being put on keto diets. But since it also has an effect on their weight, people brought it up as a fat diet that would make them lose weight. But they are not essentially focusing on their protein needs. If you're not taking optimal protein in the body, your body will not function, because the essential reason we have protein is muscle building and protecting us from diseases. तो protein अपना काम तो कर ही नहीं रहा है. That is the reason majority of fat diets don't work for a longer term.
Also, in addition to that, people have now made carbohydrates as the villain of their diet. That should not be the case anywhere in your dietary plans, because carbohydrates are the main source that will be giving energy to your brain cells as well. As Simar said, that the composition is fats, the brain gets the energy mainly from carbohydrates only. So once a person is on keto diet, obviously weight loss will happen, but taking it on long term will definitely affect your brain health as well.
Hey, that's a good one, and I think keto diet in itself got a big amount of eyeballs. A lot of people followed it. Even I, at some point, was thinking of taking keto diet, but now that you guys have cleared the misconception, I don't think I'll be following it now. If I were to ask another question, which is very, in a sense, important to know, because weight loss industry in itself is exploited by a lot of promises, a lot of fake promises, and as you mentioned, fat diets. What do you think is the biggest lie? This is a question to both of you. What is the biggest lie in the weight loss industry at the moment?
The biggest lie in the weight loss industry is, if you don't care about your nutrition, if you don't bother about it and just go to the gym to lose weight, it is going to happen. If you walk 10,000 steps a day, your weight loss is going to happen. It is not how that works. Food plays 70 to 80% role in your weight loss journey, and only 30 to 20% is the exercise or the physical activity level that you're indulging in. So that is very important for people to understand. You cannot put anything inside your body and expect results.
Same as I mentioned, carbohydrates being regarding as the villain of the diets, that is a big misconception. Also, the protein supplements that people are replacing with the natural proteins. These two are the main misconceptions that everyone should be avoiding.
एक और क्वेश्चन है. There are a lot of people जिम भी जा रहे हैं, they're also taking the diet, but still they're not losing weight. And this is a problem with many. You both being dietitians, what do you think is the reason why that's happening, and what is the solution to it?
To answer your question, Abhinav, there's a concept I would like to introduce here. It is called the SICO concept, that is calories in, calories out. So, of course, if you want to maintain your weight as it is, you have the calories you're taking inside your body should be equal to the calories you're putting out. But if you want to gain weight, perhaps, the calories that you're taking should be healthy, of course, but should be more than the calories you're expending on a day-to-day basis. Coming to the losing part, so if you acquire more calories, you have to burn more calories you have to burn those set of calories that you've acquired in that day, plus the extra calories that your body has stored. That is when you will start losing weight. So going to the gym is not going to make that happen, because our bodies are working on it is working on a sedentary basis also. Our heart, our organ is all of it is being pumped by energy. So that is one set of how calories is burned. Another set is, of course, indulging in physical activity. So that is just one aspect of it. You're not losing weight essentially by just controlling your calories, because there is no system in the body. One day you control your diet, 2 days you control your diets. But food is something we cannot live without. The human brain is, formed in such a way that you are bound to have cravings, you're bound to go to the things that you like. So why restrict them all in all? don't restrict them from your diet. You just need to take care of your portion and add certain more things to the diet. That is my take on it.
Also, following up on Simar, as you said that people go on calorie deficit, then go to gym as well, and still see no results. And sometimes I've had people come up and say that they have regained the weight, or just not have
Even more than what they lost.
even
Yes.
they more than what they initially were on. So when people go on extreme calorie deficit, the cortisol level also increases. Cortisol is your stress hormone. So if once the cortisol shots up, your mental health goes here and there, plus your weight also increases. So that is an additional point to that.
That's a good point, and I mean, if I were to also add on, say, I believe that it's also a matter of fact the root causes, because a lot of people go through I mean, some hormonal imbalances. But then again, the second level of filter would be around the genetics, again the metabolism state that they are at, and I mean all the points that you guys have mentioned already. So it could be supplement deficiency, it could be something else. I mean, in today's era, I was surprised to see that news report that said that most of the people in India are vitamin D deficit.
B12 deficit.
Yeah, and B12. So it's a way. But one more question, and this I think is probably the most important question that people on weight loss ask. Um, can they have cheat meals?
Yeah, like whether on GLP-1 or not, people generally ask this question, whether they're indulging in gyms or however it is. I would like to eradicate this concept of cheat meals altogether, because when you're naming it as a cheat meal, you're essentially providing your brain with the fuel कि आज वो दिन है जब I can consume majorly everything I should, and कल से I'll get back on track. But that is not how our bodies are adapted. आपका ब्रेन वापस आपको 2 दिन के बाद वही सिग्नल देगा कि नहीं, वी आर क्रेविंग दिस अगेन, वी वांट टू हैव दिस अगेन. तो अगर हम उसको चीट मील ना बोल के एक कुछ ऐसे वे में कर दें कि वो उस दिन के लिए तो सस्टेनेबल रहे, और अगर आप उसको नॉर्मली भी अपनी डाइट में इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं आपके मनपसंद फूड को, तो वो आपकी वेट लॉस जर्नी में इफेक्ट ना करे. So I would not recommend people to take out just one day to have a meal that they would relish. You can have it every day. You should not restrict yourself from anything. I've seen people on fatty diets lose weight just because of this.
So exactly as Simar said, rather than keeping it as a reward, keep it in your diet only, but just make sure that it comes under your calorie per day. That's the point. And instead of having fat-rich meals as your cheat meal, have carbohydrate-rich meal.
Complex carbs.
Exactly, complex carbs.
So, I mean, even on a cheat meal day, it has to be a very well thought through food intake of sorts. So, I mean, फिर उसको cheat meal हम नहीं कहेंगे.
I mean, having 1400 calories every day and suddenly on a Sunday you decide to have 4000 calories. How is that going to help you with the
that's
weight loss?
gonna essentially offset the benefits that or the calorie deficit that you had in
Acquired the whole week.
the whole week. Yes. Before ending, GLP-1 journey में whosoever is always asked to have a different diet than usual. How and what do you exactly give to these people, and that ensures they have least set of side effects?
GLP-1 से जैसे आपकी एपेटाइट कम हो रही है, इस वजह से आपका पोर्शन साइज छोटा हो जाता है. वॉट वी हैव टू मेक श्योर इज़ आप इस छोटे से पोर्शन साइज में ही सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स, सारे मिनरल्स, सारे वाइटामिन, मैक्रोज एंड माइक्रोज सब इंक्लूड करें. सो दैट इज़ समथिंग ओनली अ क्वालिफाइड प्रोफेशनल कैन टेल यू. AI, ChatGPT won't help you with it. It will only give you an answer to the prompt that you are providing. So it is very important that you refer to a professional. Then again, Muskan, if you can take over.
So the bottom line lies that one should have small, frequent and nutrient-dense food. Small and frequent meals help you sustain the small appetite or cravings that you may get during your GLP-1, and nutrient-dense food will help you maintain the nutrient profile of your body. In addition, the diet should be fiber apt, not excessive fiber may lead to constipation, and very less fiber will lead to diarrhea. So a very apt fiber intake is especially required.
Along with this, you need to take care of your hydration, because when your hunger signals are subsiding, your thirst signals are subsiding as well. And uske alawa, the hydration you were getting from your food is also in a less quantity now, because खाना कम हो गया है, portion size कम हो गया है, तो hydration जो मिल रही है overall body को वो भी कम हो गया है. तो you have to make timers, set alarms for you to have water and liquids.
That's absolutely true, and I think this is a very underrated part of GLP-1, perhaps because people don't talk about the dietary changes that follows this journey. At the same time, hydration is also something which a lot of people neglect, because when your tummy is full, you never feel like drinking. And in weight loss journey, hydration plays a critical part. And I think more so, a lot of points were covered in this small podcast. And I think you made this really insightful. You answered so many questions that a person on GLP-1 usually come up with. So thank you, both of you, dietitians Simar and Muskan, to join this podcast and help viewers of Lean Protocol in their weight loss journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.